Hey everyone, Jamie Mix here from Miss Paper, and today I'm sharing a process video where I'm putting together my July entertainment archive pages. I print all of my photos on one large canvas and then I cut them down so that they're each individual little photo, and I'm just trying to figure out how I want to arrange these on the pages. Right here though, I kind of sorted them into their respective types. So were they a movie? Were they a TV show? Was it something from the news? Was it a game or an app that I was playing with? And then I decided that I wanted to put all of the images on the left-hand side of the page, or on the left-hand page, because I like how that had turned out in previous years. And I still don't know what I'm going to do on the right-hand side, but for now, I'm just adhering down all of the little images, and I'm not going to make you watch all of that. So they're all adhered down, and the first thing I'm doing is just picking the 6 either movies or TV shows or whatever it is that I want to write about on the right-hand side. So I only do 6 because I really don't have comments on every single thing that I watch, or that my husband and I watch together. I just pick like the ones that there's actually kind of a story to tell behind them. So this month I'm talking about Jake Gyllenhaal, the Twisters movie that my family went to see, John Mulaney presents Everybody's in LA, the show The Boys, and then this month had some really big news announcements. News is something that I've added a few times, but maybe not every month. I don't know where else to put it, so entertainment kind of is where I go to, but I think it works. I think it's fine. So I color-coded using the little circle dots, and then I am pulling inks that I think would go well with those colors. So it's a way for me to reference the images on the left with the text on the right, just so you know what is being written about, like what it's referring to. So this currently watching section is going to refer to Jake Gyllenhaal and the 2 things that we watched with him in it this past July. I go through all of the various media entertainment stamps that I have, which I do have started a nice little collection. A lot of them are from Everyday Explorers Co. Who I really love their media stamps. I have a few from Studio Calico, and also some from, from LE Studio. I think it's just one set, but I do really like that currently watching, which is from that set. And again, I'm just going through the various stamp sets to figure out what I want to put for each. So because I have color-coded the little posters, the images that represent the shows or the movies, I kind of draw my color palette from the posters themselves. So I picked a teal color because teal was really present in those 2 Jake Gyllenhaal things that we watched. Twisters, the movie poster, had some orange kind of swirling around in the tornado, so that's why I picked the orange colors. And then The Boys and John Mulaney, I just picked colors that kind of represented the image itself, and then from there chose my color scheme. So I come up with weird, wacky color schemes that don't necessarily, you wouldn't think that they would go together, but I don't know, they kind of do every time I play with this. And I really love that they're bright and colorful and all different from each other because, like I said, I'm pulling from the various posters. So there's always new posters and promo images out there with a variety of different color schemes. And so I like pulling from them, and I just love the design of them as well. I like to add it's a Everyday Explorers Co. stamp set that has like little squiggles and like brush strokes. I just think they add a great bit of color behind some of the wording, and I actually stamped them on top after the fact, which is backwards, but it still works. And it just seems to me that they like help ground the text onto the page a little bit better. It's not just floating there. I see them as an alternative to like adding a label to your page, because a label really grounds itself onto a page because it has, the really strong borders, and then you can add some of your layered text stamping on top of it, or images, whatever you want, of course. But this is one way that I like to incorporate more color and just add a bit of a grounding element. And then the bottom two things that I had put little dots on because I wanted to talk about were some of the crazy news stories that occurred in July. And that was that, not necessarily crazy, but like just so not normal, were the Biden announcing that he was not going to run for re-election, and then the assassination shooting attempt on Donald Trump. And so I definitely wanted to include those stories in my scrapbook for the year, because those are huge stories and they really provide a lot of context for our lives right now, for anyone living in the United States, and probably even for people who are living outside of the United States. Those are that's big news for the world as a whole. So I absolutely wanted to include them as well. And I have a stamp set from LE Studio. It's a really old stamp set from LE Studio that I'm using for the news. I really love it because it has some really great like sayings and different things on there. So I decided just to do the embellishing on the left-hand side. Then I took a picture of that page that just had the lettering. And I know that this is an 6-inch wide by 8.15 high paper that I've printed out. So in Photoshop, I sized it to that. And then I dropped the photo into InDesign. And using InDesign, I added text over the parts where the text was going to go in the end. And then I am just removing the image from InDesign, and all I'm left with is the text. And then I'll just rearrange it on the canvas to save paper so that all of the text is like up at the top. And you see that I printed it out here, and it isn't arranged the exact same way that it was on the page, but that's because I'm cutting it out and I'm assembling it, hand assembling it, actually manually, I'm hand assembling it manually and just cutting out the little paragraphs that I wrote about the various media and arranging it on the page. And then I am just going to make sure that everything lines up well, and that I am making sure to put them on straight, which is I just peel up a little bit of the sticker paper, and then from there I'll put the rest of it. I've posted photos of this project over on Instagram at Miss Paper. That's MISC Paper. But you can also click the link in my YouTube banner. For info on the product I used, check out the links in the description box on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to like it and or subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you. Jamie Makes, signing off.